Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Stand Up, Sit Down. And on today's show, I have the hilarious, the talented, the beautiful Aarona Lopez. Stay tuned.
You are now tuned in to Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down.
Okay.
He said something that gets you crunk. Here you go though. You cannot have an attitude when this song come on. You be like,
that's very true.
Whatever you want to do. You want to holler at somebody. You want to go to a party. You at the barbecue. You don't even like your relatives. This song come on. You be like, you know what? I ain't even mad no more. What? Look at that harmony.
There it is. Look at you. She is here. She is live. Shimmy.
I'm killing them with this shimmy. You hear me?
Aarona, how are you?
How art thou? I am fabulous. Don't I look it?
You look fantastic.
You put the extras on and make me feel good. You look fantastic. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm with you.
You know?
I'm gonna receive it.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw it up and you gotta Randy Moss it.
Yeah. Hey, man, yeah. Oh, you did football analogy.
I did
basketball.
I did football.
Throw it up. Wide receiver.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
There you go.
With no interceptions because we was on the same page. I'm trying to put in the football knowledge that I know, the little piece I know, so we can get back in one accord. Hi guys, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Hey America, what's up?
I feel like with the last time I saw you, was at laser tag. Right, with the Clayton.
It wasn't Thanksgiving?
No, because it was after that. We did laser tag.
I did do a laser tag after that. Okay, well,
I mean, it may have been Thanksgiving too. I don't know.
Either way, Clayton Thomas was our catalyst. Shout out to Clayton Thomas.
Yeah.
At Team Clayton Thomas on IG. See how I did a plug? I'm a real friend. You ain't even here, huh?
But you need to be watching, Clayton.
We need your views.
So, I understand the Oscars is on. It's Oscar Sunday. And you are here with me, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm not going to get an Oscar this year, so you know what? There's no place I'd rather be than with you.
Watch the replay like
everybody else,
right? Yeah.
Or the YouTube clips.
I
really only care about Denzel and Viola Davis.
Right.
And, and the whole cast of Hidden Figures.
Yep.
And John Legend's movie, La La Land.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And
because that will probably
black.
win some awards, though.
Yeah, no.
La La Land, it'll definitely. So hopefully John gets a trophy.
All three of the movies I named were actually really legit, though. Like, seriously, artistically, the acting, the performances, they went all in.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased.
All right. Mm-hmm. So let's just dive into this.
I like your radio television voice, side note.
Well, thank you.
It's very melodious.
Mother and God, because
they did it.
I had nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amen. Praise him.
You are from Chicago.
Yes, I am.
Chi-Town.
Yes.
What was that like growing up?
Amazing. Next question. No. No, it was dope. Seriously, I love being from Chicago. In fact, something that people always joke with me a lot is you can't be around Chicago people for longer than 5 minutes without them telling you they're from Chicago. And I'm like, that's not true. But then, I've noticed that we work that into every conversation. And we don't know that we're doing it. That's the funny part. But we were we sit up here. Oh yeah, I'm on Black Hollywood Live. We haven't. You know I'm from Chicago, right? I didn't even ask you, but you need to know that I'm from Chicago. All Chicagoans are that way.
What kind of kid were you growing up? Were you like the
Bad.
bully, the jock? You were a mean girl or like a class clown? Or?
No. Okay, so I was the smart girl, but I was a weirdo. I was very extroverted, introverted early. I was somebody that my older brother was 9 years older than me. I was the middle. I was the second girl, right? And then my baby sister came, but she came years later. But my sibling dynamic, I had an older brother, and my older brother put me on the hip hop early, because he was 9 years older than me, and I was a baby, So he would come home with these records from these parties, from this thing called Lust Productions or whatever, and I would listen to it and be like, oh my God, what is this music? I got hooked to hip hop early, 91,
wow.
Simpsons. It was Simpsons and hip hop, and I was 7. I swear to God, I had no business listening to Tupac, but I was introverted.
Or watching The Simpsons.
Or watching, I did it all, honey. I was a latchkey kid. That was my right. TV raised me as a kid, okay? But I was very smart. I was always on the honor roll. Both of my parents were teachers, so I was always trying to do what they wanted me to do. I always wanted to make them happy, make them proud of me, stuff like that. So I was that kid.
Okay.
But I noticed when a stage was present or an opportunity to perform in front of people, I was this whole different person. Case in point, I was always the young one. Like in a group of friends or people or whatever, I was always the young one. My sister and I are 2 years apart, and we went to the same school because we're 2 years apart. Y'all did the math. And she wasn't cool though, but I was, and she hated me for it.
But you're also older than her.
No, I'm younger than her. My older sister is 2 years apart.
Okay.
She's older than me by 2 years. So she should have like all the 8th grade friends and blah, blah, blah. I'm in 2nd grade. They rolling with the big homie. I was that interesting. At that, like, we'll be on a school bus, like, whatever the hot song is, I know all the rhymes. I'm gonna rhyme the whole thing. They go, yo, and they, okay. Side note: anybody who really knows me and loves me and knows me from the crib, that's Chicago for the white people, from the crib. They call me Ronnie. Everybody calls me Ronnie. That's like my name. So they, oh, Ronnie, spit them raps, Ronnie. And my sister like would be all nerdy, like, she ain't good. Them ain't even her songs. Don't matter. It's lit. We love the songs. Now this is 1991. No one said lit. They probably said, you know,
tight. No,
maybe not even tight. Fresh.
There you go. Dope was probably around.
Dope was around. Dope was around. Dope. That's dope. That's fresh. Whatever. But yeah, like just all of that. Like I had 8th grade friends, and I was the 2nd grade, and I was book smart. So I always was like weirdo. Like I never tried to fit in with anything. I always marched to be my own drummer. I always loved things that made me fascinated, things that were interesting. I always loved to learn. I always loved music. I always loved like entertaining and being like this other person. I used to get out of whoopings pranking my mama.
Wow.
Amen. Praise her.
Okay, well, what did you do? Like, what was a prank that you did that got you out of a whooping?
So, okay, the story is this. Like, my mom, to me, always was way too serious. Like, that as a kid, looking at her, that's how I always felt about her. And I just always wanted her to laugh more.
Right.
I always wanted her to, like, relax a little. And so I did so much stuff. Like, one thing I would do is, I always did this, and she got a kick out of it, which made me do it more. It's corny once I tell y'all about it, because y'all gonna be like, that's it, like y'all gonna hate on it, but it always made her laugh. And all the way up until like a few years ago, she would still bring it up, and I'm in my 30s, you guys. So anytime I saw anybody arguing in the house, or anytime I noticed some tension, I'd come right up into them in the middle while they talking. I go, hey, so can I get a pony? And they all stop and be like, the heck is she talking about? I'm like, so
right.
No pony? Pony or no pony? They're like, what are you coming in here with a pony? Why the fuck would we want to give you a pony? Is there a pony? That's all I need to know. And then she would just like laugh, right? And sometimes she wouldn't give up the laugh, which is probably my first on-the-job training as a comedian, because I learned, like, sometimes you got these hard, audience members that you got to get the laugh out. She wouldn't give up the laugh, but I would always know I got her because I would listen to her phone calls, got rest, so she ain't here. So y'all can't tell on me. She not going to, it's not going to affect me. But I used to listen to her phone calls. And if she was on the phone with somebody the next day and she talked about my prank, that's how I know I won. That's how I know I got it. Because she'd be like, that girl's so crazy. Let me tell you what she did. I'd be like, yeah. She talking about what I did, because I did that. One time I acted like a dog to get out of a whooping. Like, wow. She was like, because, this is the 80s, folks. Don't judge. We whooped our kids in the 80s. We don't know what you millennials is on. Y'all hot.
Timeouts and
all this goofy stuff that
taking
don't
away
work.
social media and
that don't work because y'all got social bullies, like cyber bullies.
Yeah.
So it's not working, you guys. Beat that ass. Okay, that works.
No, that's very true though. Like, before you even go into, I was spanked.
Me too.
And like, I'm not crazy.
Me neither. I was a good kid. I made straight A's.
Right. I didn't do all that, but I graduated.
But you are a good guy. Like,
yeah.
I don't. It would be funny if, like, in your private life, like, you a skank or something.
I'm the worst. Yeah.
But no, like, you're a good guy. You look. You hosted Black Hollywood Live.
Publicly, I'm great.
Right. You're doing something. Okay. At least you have a venue and a voice and a platform. You're doing your art. I sound like I'm like in the 70s. You're doing your art. You're doing stuff. And and you got a spanking. Michael Jackson got a spanking. He was the greatest entertainer that ever lived.
Yeah.
They went a little overboard. We can admit that, but it worked.
Right.
And that's what.
Yeah, because there's like a fine line.
Oh, there's. Oh,
you know, and so like you have to, and that's the thing too, because like parents now like it's like these kids, like in the next 10 years, kids are gonna be just
punking the parents.
Yeah,
that would have never happened in our day.
Yo,
ever.
Like it's and I had this conversation because I went to the school to talk about television and this thing. It was a great panel that we did for these kids, but it was like we're like the last generation that knows of like cassettes and like CD, because CDs had like a 20-year run and they're like basically done now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like VHS tapes and even like Betamax. And like kids today have no idea what any of that stuff is.
They don't even know what like lights come in when the lights go off is.
Right. A house phone.
Dial
up. You know, like, you remember like
dial up
the little
internet.
disc that the AOL used to send, like, here's 1,000 free hours of internet.
Yeah, and you used to lost so you can keep getting the disc.
Yeah.
I know I was lost.
Yeah, like they don't know Blockbuster, like they don't know any of that.
Yeah, no, they don't. Oh, y'all missed out on some fun times.
Yo, great times.
Y'all missed out on good times. No, I didn't get many whoopings either. Let me put that disclaimer out too. I always tried to be perfect of what I thought my parents was perfect for them. Like, and so I wouldn't get into trouble. Mama say don't do it, daddy say don't do it, I don't do it. Like, keep my life simple. That way I can go and play and do the stuff I want to do. Like, I always had that philosophy. Like, I want to do what I want to do. Right. And if it's going to impede me from doing what I want to do, I guess I ain't going to do it then. Because I want to do what I want to do. Like, okay, so I can't go in that room. Don't go in your drawer. You don't like me going in your bedroom. Okay, I need to not. Amen, praise him. I'll do that. So, I can't remember I know what I did. I had misconduct because I didn't understand the concept of kindergarten. This is real shit. I didn't. I was a bright kid, but sometimes you be too bright for your own good. I didn't understand the concept of kindergarten, so I didn't get the socialism, like how you get socialized to sit on the mat and all that stuff. So mother was talking to me, and you weren't talking to me, like, because they don't talk to me like that at home. Like, real story. Everybody calls me Ronnie. Mm-hmm. I always heard that. I never knew my name was Aarona.
Wow.
Until I went to school. Like, so I'm going to school and they like calling me, they're like doing role. I didn't know my name was Aarona, so I didn't know. I went home and told my mama the teacher called me an A-word. And so, cause she didn't call me Ronnie. I know she didn't. A-word. She didn't call me Ronnie. She called me an A-word.
That's funny.
And they're like, what she call you? And my mama don't curse. So she like, which A was she trying to, but my daddy curse. Was it asshole? What was it? Like, what she say? Like, so that was that. But I got misconduct. My first introduction to school too also was Catholic school. Oh man! And I only did that for a year because by first grade, my mom was like, "This is too expensive. It's too many of y'all. We going to public school." So kindergarten and it was Catholic school. So they back then they believed in the spanking in the schools, the corporal punishment or whatever. And I got misconduct markings, and so I had to get my little whooping. And I told my mama, "You ain't gonna whoop me." And she was like, "What you say?" Which you never say that to your parents because that mean that you finna really get whooped. If you thought you wasn't, you about to really get whooped. And it's like she came out, I was like, "Oh!" And she was like, "Stop it! Woo! Woo!" And the more she told me to stop it, "Oh! Woo! Ow! 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 Woo! Woo! Woo!" And she's like, shouldn't be like, who thinks of that? What are you doing? Right. Like, it became more of, I don't want my kid to have a social problem. Maybe I shouldn't spank her. But you cannot respond back. You have to respond with words and not barks out. Right. I really ran from her, went around the table. We did the whole like quarterback sneak stuff. I got under the table. I'm this flexible, you guys. Man, call me. I'm still this flexible. I took my foot and started scratching my face with my foot.
Wow.
Because that's what I saw dogs do.
How did like your parents not think you were crazy?
You know what's so crazy? You know what's dope about that? That's how awesome it is to be a kid. I had no standards of what people would think of me if I was doing this. I just did it because it was fun. Right. I just did it because I knew if I did that would distract her and I was smart enough to know that if I distract her, I'm not getting this whooping. Right. And it didn't matter. Who cares?
But let me ask you this though. Yeah. If you have kids and they started doing that,
I'm gonna die laughing because I'm a comedian.
No, but you wouldn't be like, okay, like maybe my kids should see somebody.
No,
just to see like
really
what's going on here.
I would wait it out till they was 13. I would wait it out. I was like, I know they normal. I know they just fucking with me because I was bad.
Right. So this is God getting back at you now. Like, okay, all right, you had your fun when you were young.
Like by the time they 10, that's when I'll be like, if things don't improve, because like by 10 I was like social. I thought I was grown. Like by then I was like in Tupac and Boys, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna be the next Jada Pinkett. Like I was like, ooh, Tupac and Jada's cool. Jada's a Virgo like me. I'm gonna make friends with her, because this is how you think when you 10. I'm gonna make friends with her, and then I'm gonna go to Tupac house, and when I go to his house, he gonna see me, and we gonna be friends, and we gonna go on the road, and I'm gonna sing and get like all of that at 10. All because I heard strictly for my niggas. It's just, I don't even know if I can say that. Blurt that out, okay? He said I can say what I want, but it was really a Tupac album. I'm not just throwing the N-word out here,
right?
Profusely,
right?
Back it up with a ACT word. So
we were talking about your birth earlier, and you have a story because you were there.
Yeah, because I was there.
You were there.
I was there for the whole thing.
Right. So what happened during your day of birth?
Okay, so of course the story is retold to me from my mother's perspective, but what I found cool was she was pregnant with me and my grandfather died, right? So the day that she's pressing up his suit for the funeral, she goes into labor with me. Oh, wow. No one's around but my uncle. He's kind of drunk. But the baby is coming. Right. So he's driving all crazy, getting to the hospital. They get pulled over by the police. Jeez. And he's like, my sister's pregnant. I don't know. Right. So then the police like, calm down. We'll guide you to the hospital. So I got a police escort, y'all. I was born VIP in here, okay? Then we get to the hospital, and they barely strap her in a chair to book her and write all the stuff down to check her in, because I was coming right away. I am my mother's fastest birth.
Wow.
And she said the whole experience, because by the time I came, I was her third child. She had already done this twice. She's like, my whole experience, it was like I had been here before. Like, I was like, what y'all doing? Come on, let's come places. Let's go. I'm ready. I am ready. Why y'all making me wait? Like, and I really remember being that way as a kid. Like I said, I was going to do what I was going to do.
Right.
And I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I've always been in a hurry. I've always been just excited to be here and eager. And she said, you came here like, yo, this thing called life, I'm ready. Where we at? Sign me up. Like, it was just this urgency about me. Wow, and that's really a personality trait that I have to this day.
That's good.
In real life. That is a true story. That's told from Gloria Browning.
Nice. So let's talk stand-up.
Yes.
What introduced you to stand-up comedy?
Ooh, oh my God. So many things. First of all, like I said, in third grade, I was doing a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I was watching Def Jam. I was watching it. I was sneaking. I was watching it. Yeah. 91, I was watching it. I was in third grade. And then I watched Comic View. I also, people don't know this. This is something also the kids don't know nothing about. NBC used to air stand-up specials because it wasn't a whole lot of cable was something that was up and coming in the 80s. We weren't all in until like maybe mid to late 80s. It was still something that was like, developing. So NBC used to do like these like stand-up features, and I saw Margaret Cho and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, so women doing comedy was never weird to me. Because I always saw women doing stand-up. Right. And then I saw, like, funny women. Like, one of my favorite, like, movies is the movie with Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler. Right now, the title escapes me, but I remember the movie accurately, where they switched places. One was rich, one was poor, and then they switched places, and they was rich, and they was poor, and it was just hilarious. Lily Tomlin, Bette Midler. Then there was like a gang of stuff. Tracy Ullman was a beast and was out. And I watched The Simpsons. Yeah. The Simpsons came from the Tracy Ullman show. Yeah. So it's like there was never this period of time where I didn't see women not creating, not being funny. So I never looked at it as weird.
That's great.
I wasn't into it like, oh, I'm gonna do that. This is my path. But I was always into it, right? I was always into rap. I thought I was gonna be a rapper for real. Like, yeah, I didn't have the confidence to really step out there and do it. But if I had my choice, as far as entertainment is concerned, I thought that would, whatever. Yeah. But okay, so fast forward, Chris Rock smacks me in the face and drops Bring the Pain, 1996.
Yeah.
I'm in 8th grade. I quoted the entire thing, the entire summer. I was in a program for gifted kids, so that summer I got to go to college.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like, because I remember I was in the camp with other like kids our age, whatever, and we were being exposed to what college life was like, and like, you know, that's how we passed the time. I mean, did you see? Da, 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 da. Yeah, we acting it out and da 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 da. So there was that, and then and he was the first person. I brought him up specifically because he's my favorite. I loved Martin. I was a huge Martin fan. But Martin at the time, especially since I was younger being introduced to him, had this godlike ability to be with his humor. I was like, I can't be that funny. Like, and like, it wasn't like I saw Chris, I'm like, nah, that I can do. It wasn't that. It was, Chris just appealed to intellect so much that I was like, now, I like the way he does it. Oh my God, that's genius. Like, I would love to do that. Like, I could do that because, like, I know how to set. Like, Chris, I peeped it from day one in 96 as a 13-year-old. I was like, he has these premises that are provocative. And, you know, he just makes them as like off the cuff statements, and you hear it and you're like, what do you mean by that? I think bullets should cost $50,000. You're like, what? That's good. Cause if bullets cost $50,000, that would decrease crime. You will watch who you shoot because it's too expensive. Yeah. You go get your bullet. You go get the bullet yourself. Excuse me, I believe you have my property. And you're like, this dude's a genius. That would stop crime. So it's like it makes sense, but it's hilarious, but it's ignorant. But it's awesome. And then he goes, I ain't graduated from high school. I dropped out. And so it's just like, okay, so it's not like he's pompous or nothing. He's just talking real talk. It was amazing, and I was very inspired by that. First thing I got to do when I went to college, like they had all these freshmen welcome week, blah blah blah. I ain't go to none of that shit. First thing I did was go to a comedy show. They had comedy on the campus. I was like, boom, and I went. And I remember being there and being like, this guy ain't as funny as Chris Rock. Who is he? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just on campus, like whatever, and like over the course of that 4 years, more comics came to campus. The Black Student Union was bringing like comics from Comic View, and you know your D-Rays and your Leon Rogers. A lot of people that I ended up becoming a peer of after I left college, which was crazy because they were so funny. I was watching them as a student, and I was like, "Oh, these dudes are hilarious." Who knew that? Like 4 or 5 years later, I was like, "Hey, buddy, like, I'm next to you." Like that was weird. But I worked for the school newspaper. So I interviewed them, the Daily Illini, shouts out to them. And I was like, wow, that's a dope gift. Like, I love that. So I always had, like, after that, like, the bug had been bit, but I still didn't have no confidence in it. Like, but I was, like, the secret admirer. Like, I was in the closet. Like, I was a closet comedian. Like, I was just judging everything and everything. That ain't funny. But I didn't have no balls to get up there and whatever. So senior year, there was this comedy competition that they had on campus, and I just I ain't telling none of my friends because I didn't want to be judged, because I was like, but this was just something that was like a bucket list, if you will. And I signed up, ain't tell nobody, and I went, and I got in it, and I won second place. Nice. Yeah, I didn't expect to place. I didn't expect to get nothing. I really just wanted to do it for the thrill of doing it, because it was just cool to try, and I always wanted to. And at the end of the day, that's kind of my personality too. I don't just sit on the fence for something for too long. I like the adventure. I like the thick of life. I'm like, we'll just do it. Yeah. If I suck, who cares? I ain't tell nobody. Ain't none of my friends gonna be here. That was it. And I went, and I placed second.
Was there a lot of people there?
Yes, but I didn't, like, oh, this is going to sound so bogus, but I went to University of Illinois, predominantly white campus, like 7% black. White people ain't know us. Like it's as many black, like we knew each other, like you would know your white friends, but you just would be somebody. Like for all they know, there was a community college in the neighborhood called Parkland. For all they know, I went to Parkland and just showed up because like the campuses were so close, and I mean Champaign-Urbana is small, like, so you know we're all college kids, so if you got your ID, you can get into stuff. So it's kind of interchangeable. This bitch from Parkland, they don't know. So, but here's the caveat. I got second place, which was exciting. I did maybe one original joke. Maybe. I stole the whole set of Dave Chappelle killing me softly.
Oh,
and I was killing it.
but no one knew?
No. And that's a classic set. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I was killing it with it. Now, at the time, I knew what I was doing, and I knew that that's not what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But because I wasn't trying to be a comedian, I just wanted to get up there and do it. I wanted to feel the feeling of what that was like. And
so you were performing, basically.
Yeah. And it was like I didn't know I even had the stage presence for it.
Right.
That's what that experience taught me.
Right.
Like, if I wrote my own stuff and took it seriously, there may be some, like, that was the real first, like, turning of the key, like, wait a minute, because like I was slaying them, and it was like, and I said, like I did one original joke, and they liked it. It wasn't real chow by. It was something about cheating at basketball, and what if I was handicapped but I could alley oop, but like, you know, just, it was really remedial.
Right.
Okay, but they laughed.
Right.
And that was the whole thrill of it. Like, but they laughed. That's all I kept. But they laughed.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I'm working a job. I hate myself and my life. I'm running a video store because I didn't get into film school. So I'm feeling sorry for myself because I'm lost. I thought I was going, because I was trying to be an academic. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't, my parents were teachers, academics. My mom had a master's and 3 other degrees. She had a double major, like all this crazy stuff. Yeah. So I was trying to meet expectations.
Right.
And I grew up in that atmosphere because it was a lot of pressure from them, but it wasn't all of them. Like, just in peers. Like, you go to college and you have your friends and everybody going to get their masters, and you know, this is just what we do. Yeah. You don't think about it. You're just wasting your life and money, right? Because, dude, I'm so glad it ended up being a blessing in disguise, dude. NYU was $30,000 a semester.
That's a lot.
Exactly. I wasn't even making $30,000 a year. Yeah. What kind of stupid shit was that? Like, why was I trying to? And I was hurt. When I got the rejection, I was hurt because I had these dreams of being Spike Key the lead. Like, I was going to be the female Spike. I was going to be the new. Ang Lee was hot because Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragons out. Right. He went to NYU. I'm like, I'm about to do this. And I didn't get in. So I was like, I'm going to get my Quentin Tarantino on to work at a video store. And so I ran a video store. And I would be watching new movies and all of that. And the bug started to hit me again because I would be giving reviews on the movies. And I just give my honest opinion. And I had regulars, people that would show up every Tuesday, like, okay, so this, because they didn't want to waste their money. So they're like, what you think about this? Oh, that was good because it got this, and then there's all Paris Hilton. I mean, really, when the last time you seen Paris Hilton? I didn't even believe her in her own porno. Okay, it's whack. It's trash. Like, I was that way, and they would come and they would, well. One day, one of my regulars goes, why you here? And I was like, what? He's like, why you here? He's like, you're supposed to be doing something else. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know what your thing is, but this ain't it. Yeah. And I was in the minute he said it, something about it pierced my soul and like punched me in the face. But I was still on, what you talking about? I'll make your money. Do. And I still never forgot it. We 11 years later from that moment, I ain't never forgot it. Yeah. And
which is great.
Weird. I don't even think I've ever seen him again since that day.
Wow.
He used to come by the store all the time, and I can't remember anything about him after that day. But I know I put my 2 weeks in within like 3 months of that.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If you would have stayed at the video store, you would have lost your job anyway.
And I don't like this. Netflix came over and shut shit down. Yeah, so. I was before my time. It was perfect timing. And I quit on April Fool's Day. What? Here's what's crazy, and this is a true story. Anybody that's watched any of my vlogs, they know this is a true damn story because I told it like so many times. By that point, like, I was depressed. I was living in grown-up land, which means holidays. You know, I was working over 44 hours a week. Holidays, school holidays. Oh, it's President's Day. Who gives a shit? I ain't in school. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, none of that shit meant anything to me. I was always at work. I didn't even have a social life because I was the boss and I was always at work. Yeah. And I just wanted to get out of that. And they played me on my raise. I was working so hard and I was trying to get a raise because I still had that film school thing in me. So I was like, okay, if I get this raise and I revamp the store, I'm gonna work my way up to district manager, transfer to the New York location, and I'll go to New York Film Academy, like one of those pay for play schools. Right. That was the plan. And I was on that. And they played me on the raise, and I just felt so defeated. Like, this is slavery. Like, I'm literally begging for money. I'm working all of. I went to college, and then I was an honor student. Like, all of the reality setting is like, what's the point? What is it? So I get into like this depression and stuff. And then I cursed somebody out at the job because I'm mad. I'm always mad. I'm always on edge. And my employee was like, that was hilarious. You need to do comedy. I'm like, and nobody had ever said that to me before. I'm like, you're fired. What the hell? She's like, but the way you curse people out is hilarious. You get so angry, but you're animated when you're angry. And I was just like, shut up. Would you shut up? I was mad. But then, like, the next day, I was like, I think I should do comedy. Yeah. So I told my best friend about it, and this is where everything started. Had she went, girl, that's a stupid idea, y'all would have never seen her. This would not be happening right now.
Wow.
Y'all would have. She was like, I think that's dope. In fact, I think my mama knows somebody. And that's how that all happened. Wow. Her mom knew comedian Marlon Mitchell, who was friends with Leon Rogers, D-Ray, the whole little gang we all named. And he was like, yo, meet me at Riddle's Comedy Club. He was cool with it. Like, yeah, meet me at Riddle's Comedy Club. And it was April 1st. All of those details had nothing to do with it because all the stuff that was happening behind the scenes was way more serious and important. But I remember being at the comedy club, watching them and going, I can do this. I want to do this. And I put my notice in the next day. I ain't had no job lined up. Nick, I was stupid. I leaped. I was like, I hate this so much.
Yeah.
I'm this depressed.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do, though.
Come get me.
Yeah.
Like it went like that.
Wow. So what was your first non-Carlos Mencia type show?
What does that mean?
When you stole all your jokes at the
like when I went serious.
Yeah, when you went serious.
The first one when I went serious. Because I like I said, at the time even then I knew I should have did that, but I didn't care because I wasn't trying to be original. I didn't even take it seriously. I didn't even expect nobody not to call me out. Like seriously, right. I had never did it before. Like I was expecting to go, that's Dave Chappelle, bitch, get out of here. Like I didn't know. Yeah. And it was really, like I said, like the way I held the mic and I'm just being comfortable. I was a whole new person up there. I surprised me. And then when they gave me the money, I was like, oh, well, I can do this. And like I said, after watching them, I was like, whatever. My first show was at some bar, because that's how it all works. You just, nobody believes in you because they don't know you. They just give you, here, it's 5 minutes. Just go up there and do something. And back in those days, you went until you weren't funny anymore. Ain't none of this showcase 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You know you're not funny when you get to like right away. Like that's like a soul crusher. Cause like you'll be doing it up and you've been up there like 30 seconds, they be like, wow. And you're like, I gotta work on it, Yeah. So when you going for a while, you're like, man, I've been up here for a minute. That's when you know, this is hitting. And then also they're laughing, so you know it's hitting. That's what I love about comedy. It's the instant
gratification.
You'll never be fooled if you're real with yourself. You'll never be fooled to think to believe you're not wasting your time. Because if you're never getting the laughs. You know you're never getting the laughs. Now, whether you want to admit it to yourself because of ego, that's some other shit. But you know. So the bars, and then I did Jokes and Notes. That was my first time doing a comedy club, and I was so nervous because it was a real club. That was a place where people paid to see comedy. Yeah. And that was the best show I had ever did up to that point. Right. Blew my socks off. I remember having an out-of-body experience where I was watching the people watching me, but I'm still talking because it's only you up there and I'm like watching. I'm like, they really think this is funny. Yeah. But this is me. Yeah. And I was like, right then and there, I like said like a quick little prayer, like, God, if I'm crazy, let me know. If I'm not, those were literally exactly. If I'm crazy, let me know. If I'm not crazy, show me I'm not crazy. And in 6 months, I got Laffapalooza. That's where I met Clayton. Wow. Yep.
That's crazy.
October 2006. I started April 1st, 2006. October 1st, 2006. And that was even that whole journey is like oh my God, it was hard. The transition was whack. Cause I ain't had no job. I just quit. Like, don't ever do that. That's stupid.
I mean, here's the thing, but sometimes
I got evicted.
You gotta go out on faith.
It was consequences. I ended up on the couch. I'm so grateful. My cousin was like, come get a piece of this couch because I don't even know what you're doing. Yeah. But even then, like right then and there, because I found something I was so passionate, I made a decision right then and there. Because like you eventually go, I gotta get a job. I gotta make some money. Right. But I was like getting these jobs, these call centers. I'm like, look, I'm a comedian. And I meant that, and they, some places they don't want to fool with you because I was like, no, like I'm going to treat y'all like y'all my side chick. I'm gonna use y'all like y'all the sugar daddy. You know I'm here. Sniff this money. Right. I got a real career. I got a real main. It's comedy. Okay, you know what I'm in here for. Yeah. Don't get in my way. I'm gonna be on time. And I treated every job like that until I got fired from the call center. I was like, I'm just gonna wait tables. That solved everything.
Yeah.
That kept me afloat for 10 years, waiting tables and bartending.
Wow. And look at you now.
And look at me now with a pink shirt on.
Now.
Doing Black Hollywood Live.
Yeah.
With Nick the Great.
That's it. Wow.
I'm just gonna give you a nickname.
Okay. That's and I'll take it.
And you should. Wide receiver.
Receive that one. Right.
I love the way you received it, like blessings was coming down. I will receive that.
So we know not every show goes off without a hitch, right? And there are those shows where people just don't laugh.
Amen. Praise him.
So that first bomb.
Oh my God! It was Atlanta, 2006. JB Foxx, Laffapalooza. I remember it like it was yesterday because oh God, it was painful, but it was so funny though too.
Yeah.
Because we got selected to be the New Faces. We submitted a tape, and they really it meant something. They went all over the country. Like people who were there representing their cities, so many different cities. Yeah. It was a good time. It was like comedy camp. Like because cool. That was my first time being on the road and like seeing people like, wow, they doing what I'm doing, and they have about as much time in the game as me. Like, wow. Yeah. Some people had like LeVar Walker was in my class. He had way more time in the game than me because he had already did Comic View before. Yeah. But just like you don't even know who people are gonna be, and that part was cool too.
Yeah, that's dope.
Rel Battle was in my class.
Wow.
Yes, he was. 2006.
Shout out to Rel on Superior Donuts, killing it right now on CBS.
Yes, he was. He was in my class. Derek Gaines.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a gang of us, like a lot of Grady. Like it was a bunch of us, and so we had like these showcase sets before like the main show. Like the main show was like for all the marbles or whatever. I don't know, whatever is valuable. And I was killing the showcases because I had my little set because I only had 5 minutes. It's what I had, and it was working. My jokes that were hitting the hardest were R. Kelly being a pedophile, because like it was not too long after the sex tape, and I was talking about how his name was the Pied Piper of R&B. You should have known. Like the Pied Piper was a crazy musician who stole all the kids. He telling you right now he's stealing the kids. You should have known. I went to 3rd grade. I read that books. He stole the kids. That joke. Then is it me or does Condoleezza Rice look like Ross from What's Happening? Like those jokes. They was working. I'm telling you, it was killing. And that was my little 5 minutes. Yeah. It got me on the show. And then my closer. This is why my closer was the Terry McMillan scandal, because this is 2006. At the time, it was a big deal that the dude she wrote about, how Stella Got Her Groove Back, was gay. Like because that movie was such a hit. Terry McMillan had wrote all these books for women, and that's what was my joke. Bitch, you had me believing in you. I bought all your books. Waiting to exhale. All your books. And you mean to tell me his lip gloss was popping? You had us believing in you. Like that, and being from the Midwest, that's the first thing I learned about regional comedy difference too. I just got baptized in that because Midwest, we're very forward with our comedy. We straightforward. We say bitch. We nah. Down south, it's a different vibe. They use a lot of music, and the stuff that like kills like usually involves a DJ of some sort because they love their music. But then they love like whatever is I want to say trendy, but what I was talking about was trendy, but it was controversial. And it's like they don't do controversial because it's Atlanta, right? And also in Chicago, the joke works because it's like, bitch, he a down low brother, and da 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 da. Right? It's like and you ain't tell me, and I'm naming off all the and it's killing it. Girl, yeah, say that. She misled me too. We in Atlanta. And I'm in front of the Down Low Brothers. They was like, who this bitch is she talking to? Who is she? Who is she? Like, it was all, they was sitting there like, like that plies me, bitch. Yeah. They was looking like.
That's funny.
It was like dead silence. It was like my heart was like being suffocated as I was talking, like because it was going pretty good, and I just lost them. Yeah. And it was cold out there.
Yeah, and it was long. It was long. Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was a 5-minute set, but it felt like 20 hours. And then LeVar Walker got up there, and at the time he was doing his joke because he looked like T.I., and What You Know About That was hot. Right? Oh yeah, dude, like he came up and to this day I hate that song because he was killing with that, and that's all he had to play to get the whole room back on his side. I took a hard. Oh my god!
But you learned from it.
I did,
and you grew from it.
I did.
You know,
It was horrible.
It's that baptism by fire.
It was every time I hear what you know about that. Shut up.
Yeah.
I bombed. That's what I know about that. The struggle. That's what I know about that.
That's funny. That is funny.
It's real.
You.
Yes.
Second city in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? The
Yes.
IO West.
Sure did.
The Annoyance Theater.
Sure did.
What did these places teach you as a comic, as a funny individual? Like, what did they kind of instill in you?
You know what? The best thing I got from like taking improv classes was I got a few things, but the best thing was the freedom to play. Like the first thing I got right away, like even in level 1, that I found to be very true. It's like when you get to be an adult, you don't play anymore. So you don't let your imagination run wild. You don't take chances. You want to play it safe, because everywhere outside of creative land, you do something wrong, but in creative land, especially improv, nothing's wrong.
Right.
And it took me a minute to like grasp that concept, but once I really did, that's where the fun began, because nothing is wrong. Everything is a gift. People say something in a conversation, you can always redirect it. You can find a joke if you listen, you know.
Yeah.
It also taught me about how to be specific with my references, because usually I was the only black girl in class. So it's like I can't say I can't say anything. If I want to communicate, I got to say something that's going to be understood if I'm going to communicate. You just can't say, well, this is how we talk in my neighborhood. That don't work. Like, we have to have a conversation. So to make sure that I understand you, you understand me, you got to talk something that's general, that's well known.
Right.
References. And references, like, it just showed me the value of it and how you can even make your material even more mainstream without changing the integrity of what it is. For instance, like, if we're talking in front of a bunch of millennials and we're talking about taxi cabs, they're going to be like, huh. But if we switch it to Uber, now we on the same page.
Right.
It's just knowing the audience and what reference is going to hit them to strike the chord, where instantly that one word, now I'm with you. Like, I don't even, you know, and sometimes it's as simple as finding the right adjective even when you're describing something. Like, I could say, when you see a man that's like super fine and stuff, or when you see a man that's rather sexy, it's the same thing.
Right.
But it's references.
Yeah, that's.
And then the
good.
more direct you make the references too, this is what really important, the better the comedy. Like, if it's ambiguous and nebulous, like, we could be talking about anything. But if I go, ha, with your big Jack Tripper Three's Company shirt on, it goes, if you've seen the show, you instantly go there. He had the flower show. You've got your flower boo show. This is, you know.
That's good.
It makes you a good roaster.
Yeah.
Second City.
You did Martin Lawrence's First Amendment.
I did.
What was that experience like?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It fell on the anniversary of my 10-year high school reunion.
Wow.
Dude, when I tell you I needed signs,
Yeah.
and I have to remind myself of this, because sometimes the game ain't that fun, and sometimes your career isn't doing what you feel like it should be doing, and you have to go back and look like, nah, but there's all these little clues that happen along the way to let me know you on the right path. You doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I remember, even because that was my first television opportunity, and I even remember going, what would I even been doing if I didn't do this? 10 years later, if I didn't do this, I would be going to my high school reunion. They'd be like, what you doing? What you like? I'm like, oh, man, I'm working. Like, what would I even have to say at the reunions if I decided to go? Like, it's just like, what would I be doing?
Right.
And I remember being there and being like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it was fun. And that's when Drake had first blew up. So I was riding around Chicago. I already was living in LA at the time, but I was driving around with Chicago blasting, it's okay. You can run and tell my friends that I was feeling good. Hardly home, but always rapping. I'm like, I'm about to go tape. Yup, I'm about to go tape. It's amazing.
And the Velvet Circus?
Yeah!
Tell us about that. How did that come about? What was the...
Okay, that is my
idea
baby.
behind that?
That's something that I birthed on this journey in comedy, and it really, they say that your creativity is like your brain children. Mm-hmm. That one really felt like a kid. It took a whole lot of work. I had to pay some money. I was like renting out the old lab before they remodeled the lab at the Hollywood Improv. I was renting out the room in the lab, like $200 a pop. I was working 2 jobs at the time to pay for it, and to at least be able to throw the comics like $20 and stuff. And it was a live sketch comedy show. For those that don't know what it is, it was a live sketch comedy show with stand-up. Mm-hmm. So I would the way it was initially started, I would book comics for a show. It always started with the booking first. That's the way you do it first. Who's performing stand up? And then we get the lineup together, we make the flyers, boom, boom, boom. Before the show, we get together like a week or two before the actual show is going to be live, and we'll shoot the sketches with the same people who's supposed to do stand up. And what it does is it introduces the audience to the people on the show before they actually hear their jokes. And they decide that they already like them because they've already seen them be funny.
Right.
Where when you do stand up and you stand up to be on the show, the crowd hasn't seen you or don't know you. They don't know what you're going to say. And as soon as you come to the mic, the first question everybody wants to know is this going to be funny?
Right.
Well, what was awesome about the show was they didn't have that question by the time you got up to, because they saw you in the sketch. Yeah. And I always host, get the room, to a good level, use my comedy skills and host, and then I always kick it to a sketch. The sketch is always the first. I always did a musical sketch, which I got to live out those rapper dreams, June. I did. I got to live out those rapper dreams. Yeah. It was always a musical sketch because people like music. Music softens people up, and if the hook is catchy, we're done. Like they're just gonna quote that, and we had a good time. And okay, what else is this? What else is going to be in this show? And they loved it. And then they do. You have the comic, and then you shoot it back to a sketch, and then I would even roast the sketches. Like it just costs $20. Like don't judge it. Whatever. And it was just a good time. I ran it for like 2 years at the Hollywood Improv Lab. I toured it a bit. I took it and did like 3 or 4 shows in Chicago. I did a show in New York with it because I was trying to get it to catch on. And that's when I realized, okay, I have to get like some serious backing behind this to make it be what I want it to be. Because it's like, I try to build it up big, and this is before Vine and all of that. Now that all of that didn't happen, I'm like, I should bring back Velvet Circus. Now I can just shoot this all on my iPhone. Right. And, but it wasn't, I had a flip cam and other real HD cameras because iPhones wasn't swaggy like that at the time.
Yeah, very true.
But that's what it was.
And you are a songwriter.
I am.
Right?
Being my songwriter. It came from Velvet Circus. Velvet Circus birthed all these subsequent dreams that I wanted to do outside of comedy because there's the filmmaker. I was shooting those videos. I was shooting those sketches. I was editing them myself. Yeah. When I didn't edit them myself, my homeboy, who was the music producer, shout out to Clarence Gaines, the fourth. Okay, yeah, he's the fourth. Yeah, bougie. Fourth. Got Roman numerals in his name. Awesome dude. Super talented dude. He was a vocalist. Producer, and he's gifted with the camera, and his day job is editing. Like that's what he gets paid to do. Right. So when I needed something that was more sophisticated and swaggy, it's like, Clarence, you need to get this because you're better than me at this.
This is what you do.
Yeah, and he would make it so beautiful, and like he came. I mean, he was on a hot streak. He gave us so many dope beats and made guest appearances in the video. Great. Like he's a dope dude. But we gonna do some stuff. Like I'm trying to like bring him back into like the fold. But even he admits, like, dude, that was a dope time, and I kind of miss it. And we should, we every once in a while we'll banter about, we should get back that and do it again.
Listen, no better time than the present.
Yeah, but it's in the works. That's some things going on. That's some things going on. Okay. But that's what it was. Okay. And I registered all the songs, so I'm a BMI registered songwriter, which paid off. Shout out to Foxx. Okay, amen. Nice. They started sending me residual checks. I was like, y'all playing it? Oh my God. The coolest part about that, we was just having fun. Right. And that's why I'm even more of a bigger believer. Just have fun. Like, I wasn't trying to do none of that. We was having fun. The first song we made was For the Bitches. That came from me working at TGI Fridays, talking to my friend Josh Lee, who's from Illinois, but not Chicago, but, like he was my Illinois homie. Right. And I was like, you can make any song a hit as long as you keep saying For the Bitches. And we was beating on the table, boom, 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 For the bitches, boom. And we just throwing in stuff, like, For the Bitches. And like we was naming Friday platters. I ordered a 2 for $10, For the Bitches. And it was just catchy, and but it's comedy and it's silly, and that's my lane. Right. And I was like, yo, we should get in the studio and do it. And I did. We went to the studio. I paid for the studio sessions. We put our vocals down, and it was just even exciting to hear it once it was done. Like, damn, we did it. So then I put it on YouTube, and then we do it all before the show. And also the other second gratifying part is we always play it live before we put it up on YouTube. We never put it up on YouTube until the show is over with. That way it's exclusive when we launching it at the show, Right. And to get the crowd's immediate reaction of it. And we was doing the Michael Jackson Thriller dance, and they loved it. And I was just like, what? And we was having fun. And when he saw it, he sent it to his family, sent it to his friends. I sent it to my family, and it became a thing. And I was like, now we should put it on iTunes.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was just like, yo.
Nice.
Now, I need to put more promotion behind that because, like, iTunes don't pay what I thought it did. But Foxhole put my stuff on the air, and somehow Delta Airlines and they're not around anymore. They merged and became Frontier or somebody, but Continental Airlines, you remember them? They was playing my stuff, and I got a check, and I was like, how the hell that happened?
Yeah. See it? Hard
like,
work pays off. That's the thing. You just keep creating content. Keep creating content.
Yep, I'm having fun.
As we wrap up.
Hey man, that was fast. I love this.
Yeah, super fast.
But that means you're a good. You geared this ship well. Like you run a good show.
I try.
You ask the good questions.
I try.
Yeah. I mean, you do this. But this was dope. I loved it. Okay.
You were on Wild 'N Out season 7.
Yes.
Real quick, what was that experience like?
You know what? That was cool. It was crazy for a lot of reasons. This is a real story. During the time that I was going through that like depression of working at the video store, I used to come home and watch the first run, like when they had Catnip on it.
Yeah.
That was my relief. I'd come home and watch that and just be tripping. I'm like, man, that show was dope. I want to be on that show. And really felt that way.
Yeah.
And then the show went away when I actually became a comedian. I was not a comedian at all, wasn't thinking about it when the show was really popping.
Right.
Then I became a comedian and the show was still on, and then for like another year, and then it went away.
Right.
And there was no show.
Yeah.
And I was like, that show was dope. I missed this show. So all while I was being a comedian and developing, that it wasn't around. And the first time I got an opportunity to audition for it, I was too geek because I was like, wow, they bring it back and I love that show.
Yeah.
And my audition was okay. Like it was like I put too much energy into it because I just wanted to be so good. I wanted to do. I was all in my head, so I didn't get on. The next year, I wasn't even about that's divorce and all that stuff happened, and I wasn't thinking about nothing. Clayton randomly was like, "Yo, have you auditioned for Wild 'N Out?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Yo, let me talk to them." He's like, send them your stuff." I sent them my stuff. They was like, "Yo, you can come down and audition," and I was like, "All right." And I showed up to the audition. There was a bunch of other, like a gang of us over there, and they gave us the games to play. I did it. We did the cipher. I did it. That part was fun. Yeah. And it was cool to like do that. And then they was like, "Yo, Aarona, you got something we looking for. We gonna use it." I was like, "Yo!" So to get on the show, it was crazy.
That's dope because that's like full circle.
It was crazy. The tapings of it though is my absolute favorite part of the entire experience. Like hands down, bar none. Taping those live episodes was all the way lit. I can't like. Amazing because those kids are so happy to see the show. Yeah, they're here for this and they're excited and that energy is so electric. It's like forget the game, forget all that. It's a stand-up comic dream. Like if you was just doing your stand-up and people received you like that, you would feel like like I'm God. Like it's amazing. Like you at least would be Eddie Murphy. I don't know. You would feel amazing. Yeah. That energy is crazy and that made it just a lot of fun. Like that was great.
Last question.
Amen, person.
What is the biggest thing you've learned in your career?
Be authentic and have fun.
Nice.
Like those are the biggest things. Be yourself. The very first time I showcased for something, it was like back when they used to do HBO Aspen. I showcased. I had a funny set. I did good, but it was like current events material, and I had no knowledge of like the separation. I thought comedy was comedy. It's just funny. Right. And I'll never forget the first thing she said to me, the lady who was booking for it was like, "Aarona, that was hilarious, but who are you? I don't know who you are." And that stuck with me. And it's like, that's what it's about. When you think about the comics you enjoy, you feel like you know them in some way. You feel like you knew Richard. You feel like you knew Eddie. He's telling you about his father. He's telling you about, and Gus and all that stuff. You feel like you knew Chris Rock. Chris got bad grades. Chris is literally, no, Chris is tired. Like, you feel like you know them. Like, and it's like, who are you? And so I try to, as much as I can, do things that really speak to who I really am inside, do things that really show what makes me stand out from everybody else. Like, you're not going to get bored. You didn't see everything that I'm about to talk about before because I'm just being me. I'm being authentic and I'm having fun.
That was great. Well, now I feel like if people didn't know you before,
you better know me by now.
They know you now. Thank you very much.
I love you.
For coming. Love you more.
Yes.
And tell people where they can find you online and what you have coming up.
Boom. You can follow me at Aarona Lopez 100 on IG. That's at AARONA, because my parents are ghetto. Lopez 100 on IG. That's really the only account I care about right now because I can do everything on there. I'm about to delete my Snap, so I don't care about that. At Aarona Lopez 100 on IG, Aarona Lopez on Facebook, Aarona Lopez on YouTube. I will be at University of Tyler, Texas this Tuesday, and then I will be in University of California, Pennsylvania this Thursday, and West Virginia. No, I just left West Virginia. Virginia, I'm coming for you. Bridgewater College. And y'all be looking out for Velvet Circus. I'm just going to say that.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. Thank you again for coming through. I had a great time.
I did. This was fun. We have to do this again.
We will do it again.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. Of course, you can find me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue and now at the Nick Perdue 2. I'll see you guys next time.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.